Have you ever clicked on a website and watched it load, without thinking twice about what actually happens in that tiny gap between your tap and the page appearing? It feels instant. You press a link, and within a second the article, video, or finance chart is right there. Simple, normal, invisible. But behind that ordinary moment is something far more complex than most people ever imagine. In fact, in the fraction of a second before a web page fully loads, a global, high-speed auction takes place. Not metaphorically, literally. A real-time bidding system involving companies from across the world competes for a single thing: your attention. And the most surprising part is how fast it happens. We are talking milliseconds. Faster than a blink. Faster than a thought. In that time, companies decide whether you are worth spending money on, place bids, compete against each other, and determine which advertisement will appear in front of you. To understand this, imagine you are in the UK reading a financial news site about interest rates, inflation, or the FTSE 100. Or maybe you are in the United States, checking updates on the S&P 500, or reading about Tesla's latest stock movement. You click the page. It begins to load. To you, it is just a white screen for a moment. But behind that blank space, an invisible financial marketplace is already awake and moving at extreme speed. The website you clicked has spaces reserved for advertisements. These spaces are not filled in advance. Instead, they are sold in real time, each time someone visits the page. The moment your browser starts loading the content, a signal is sent out to an advertising exchange. This signal does not reveal your identity directly, but it carries digital clues about you. It might include your general location, like London, Manchester, New York, or California. It might include your device type, your browser language, your screen size, and sometimes patterns of your recent browsing behavior. Now, in that same instant, hundreds or even thousands of companies receive a chance to compete for you. Think of it like a stock exchange, but instead of shares in companies, what is being traded is access to your attention at this exact moment. Let's make it more concrete with a finance example. Suppose you have been reading articles about personal investing strategies. Maybe you were looking at how to start a retirement fund, or comparing index funds in the US, or learning about ISA accounts in the UK. In that case, financial companies see you as a high-value visitor. A trading app might think, this person is likely interested in investing. A bank might think, this user could be looking for a savings account or credit product. A fintech startup might think, this is someone we can convert into a long-term customer. Now the bidding begins. One company might say, your attention is worth a few cents. Another might value it higher. A mortgage lender in the UK might bid more aggressively, if your browsing pattern suggests you are researching home prices in London or Manchester. A US credit card company might raise its bid if it detects that you have been comparing cashback rewards or travel points. An investment platform might go even higher if you recently read articles about stock market volatility or crypto trends. Within milliseconds, all these companies submit their bids. The system compares them instantly and selects the highest one. The winner gets the right to show their advertisement on the page you are loading. And just like that, before the article has fully appeared on your screen, a financial decision worth fractions of a penny has been made about you by machines operating at global scale. What makes this even more fascinating is that this does not happen occasionally. It happens every time you load a page that contains ads. That means news websites, sports updates, finance blogs, weather forecasts, recipe pages, and even entertainment sites are constantly running these invisible auctions, millions of times per second across the internet. From a distance, it looks simple. You visit a website, and an ad appears. But underneath that simplicity is a complex system that resembles a global trading floor operating at extreme speed. Computers are communicating across continents, evaluating users, calculating probabilities, and deciding how much a single impression is worth. In many ways, this system behaves like Wall Street compressed into milliseconds. Instead of trading shares in Apple or Microsoft over minutes or hours, companies are trading opportunities to influence human behavior almost instantly. And just like in financial markets, value is not fixed. It changes based on demand, competition, timing, and perceived future return. This is where things become especially interesting for finance-related industries. In traditional advertising, a company might pay to show an ad to millions of people and hope a small percentage respond. But in this system, everything is targeted and dynamic. If a user looks like they are actively considering a financial decision, their value increases dramatically in real time. For example, someone casually browsing general news might trigger low-value bids. But someone reading about best mortgage rates in the UK or how to invest in index funds in the US suddenly becomes far more valuable. Banks, lenders, investment platforms, and insurance companies all understand that this moment could represent a long-term customer worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars or pounds. Think about a mortgage customer in the UK. The lifetime value of that customer can be enormous. A single home loan could generate thousands in interest and fees over decades. So if a bank spends a few pennies or cents to place an ad in front of the right person at the right time, it is not a cost. It is an investment. The same logic applies in the US credit card market. A user who signs up for a rewards card might generate revenue for years through transaction fees and interest payments. A fintech investing app might earn ongoing commissions based on trades or account activity. Suddenly, your attention is not just attention. It is a potential financial asset being evaluated in real time. What is even more surprising is that two people can visit the same website at the exact same time and see completely different advertisements. One person might see an ad for a UK savings account, while another sees a US-based stock trading app. The difference comes down to small signals like location, browsing history, and predicted intent. The website itself stays the same, but the advertising layer changes dynamically for each visitor. This creates a hidden personalization layer across the entire internet. It is as if every web page is slightly different for every user, shaped in real time by financial algorithms deciding what is most likely to influence you. Of course, none of this would matter if it slowed everything down. But the system is designed for speed above all else. Engineers have spent years optimizing it so that these auctions complete faster than a human can perceive. If it took even a second longer, the internet would feel sluggish and broken. Instead, everything feels instant. That illusion of simplicity is part of what makes the system invisible. At the same time, this raises deeper questions about privacy and data. Over the years, regulations in both the UK and US have forced companies to become more transparent about how data is used. Browsers now block certain tracking methods, and websites often ask for consent before collecting information. But the core idea of real-time bidding still exists, because it is one of the most efficient ways to fund the modern internet. It is also one of the reasons so much of the internet remains free to use. Most news websites, financial blogs, sports platforms, and entertainment pages do not charge users directly, because advertising covers the cost. Writers, editors, developers, servers, and infrastructure all require funding, and that funding often comes from these invisible auctions happening behind the scenes. So the next time you open a financial news article, check a stock price, or read about inflation trends in the UK or US economy, remember that before the page fully appeared, a global marketplace briefly came alive just for you. Companies competed in real time. Algorithms calculated your value as a potential customer. And within a fraction of a second, the winning message was chosen and delivered. All of this happened so quickly and so quietly that it feels like nothing happened at all. But in reality, something very real did happen. Money moved. Decisions were made. Competition occurred. And it all revolved around a single idea that has become one of the most important currencies of the modern digital world: your attention. And perhaps the most interesting part is not just that this system exists, but that it happens constantly, everywhere, without most people ever noticing. Every click, every page load, every refresh is another auction, another decision, another micro-battle in a global economy built on focus, behavior, and prediction. The internet, as simple as it feels on the surface, is full of these hidden systems working underneath, and this is just one of them.